We are live from the Pierrefonds Sportsplex here in Montreal, Quebec. For this contest in the pre-draft division. Round robin between Advocate Hockey and the Warriors. Off the boards, Advocate pick it up, looking to sweep it to the defense. And get things exited out of their zone early here. Taking off on the far wall. Go back to number 78 across number 30. Outlet pass off the wing. And taken there by Advocate, skating out, moving wide, holding onto it. Chipped off the boards there by Lavoie. Lavoie skates out for the Warriors. Check there on the far wall. Moved in here by the Warriors. Out they skate with it. Moving wide. Back in front of the net. That goes right through the blue paint and wide. How did that stay out? Warriors again on it. Knocked off the puck by Advocate and out they skate. Moving across. Line change here for Advocate athlete. As Pelletier moves it across. Taken out here by the Warriors. Falling down in the play is taken out by LaRue. A shot. That one sails over the goal. Stopped up inside the blue line. Shot from distance there. Off the boards here. Picked up here by the Warriors. Move across. Out to neutral ice. Taken in here. Skated wide. Shot from distance, glove down and held. By the Advocate goaltender. On the draw in the offensive zone. Draw one there by the Warriors. Shot from distance, blockered aside by the goaltender. Another save there for the Advocate goaltender once again. Nevio Rubo on the draw here for the Warriors. On to the point. Chopped across. Picked up here by DiGirolamo. Dumping it in there for Brado. Brado trying to get a hold of it and slide it towards the goal. Picked up there by Advocate and fired out down the ice. As Olds got that out. Dumped back in here by the Warriors. Good check in the corner there by Rubo. Going to pick it up here. Advocate on the left wing. Hard hit it on the wall. Taking the hit to make the play there as it's swept in the zone by number 94, Braden Wiseman. Off the near side wall, picked up here by the Warriors. A hard collision there at center ice. And taken there, moved out here. Warriors looking to set things up here in their own zone. Is getting behind the goal is Cito. That's one chipped ahead. Pops up in front of me and right down onto the ice. Bit of a quarterback pass there as number 98 looked to get a stick on that. Now comes AJ Mack trying to clear it for Advocate. 98 coming in, a shot there through a screen. That went wide. Number 85 got checked on the wall there. And then for number 81, down the wing. Picked up here by Lavoie. Lavoie holds onto it. Backhand feed in front, picked off there by Latella. Latella skating out. He's up against AJ Mack, slides it through. And that went all the way off a stick into the netting for a stoppage in play. Sorgini on the draw. Skate to stick, drops it off in front of shot there, blocking it aside, and rebound cleared away. Swept down to the neutral ice, picked up there by Paquette, moved up the right wing side, shot there, patted aside into the corner. Taken by LaMarche on the point. Sidestepping a hit, drops it in front. Another pass in front, a chop shot goes wide. And one picked up here by LaRue, turning with it onto the point, shot there from distance, glove down by the goaltender for a stoppage in play. Gabriel Sorgini on the draw. Draw one there, taken by Lucarello, looking to clear. Lucarello can't clear, taken by Vorobiev with a quick shot. That one sticked aside. LaMarche drifts it into the corner. LaRue on it. Down the ice it goes. Picked up by Paquette on the back check. Off the backboards into the corner. Here come the Warriors down the right wing side. Passing it in front. Moved out to neutral ice. Looking to re-enter the zone here are the Warriors. As they look to set things up. Pass outlet to neutral ice, picked off by Advocate. Chip play out to neutral ice, and skating into his defensive end now is Charles LaRue. LaRue holds on to it, sweeps it behind the goal to his defensive partner. Off the boards, out to neutral ice. And back off the boards again. They're going to clear it into the zone, our Advocate. Picked up there and skated in. Stick check there on number 94, Braden Wiseman. As Ellenbogen looked to get a hold of it. Ellenbogen took a tumble there on the way into the zone. And picked off on the wall and dumped back in around the boards to the Advocate group. Hard hit there to take his man off the puck as Charles LaRue threw the body there. Off the boards, Rubo off the boards. Near side wall and try to clear. Rubo on it again. Livio Rubo up ahead. Finds the stick of Lirakos. A shot and off the shoulder of the goaltender and into the netting for another stoppage. Stafilakis on the draw. Draw one there by Advocate, moving around the boards. Stopping it up is Cito. I'll chip it into the corner. It's held at the line. Move back in across, and a stick save there by the Advocate goaltender. Another shot from distance, that one deflected wide. Taken in the far corner. Onto the point. Shot from distance in front of that, rebound chance cleared away on a great save there. Great pressure here by the Warriors in the first. Another shot, that one rising shot over the goal as Brendan Robbie goes in to retrieve it. Off the boards. Into the side of Cito. Cito a shot, pad save, rebound chance in front, they score. Didn't get solid wood on it, but they followed through. And the Warriors open the scoring here in the first. Off the draw, Advocate looking to gain possession and try to find their way back into this hockey game as they're only down by one, but the Warriors have dictated the pace for the first half of the opening frame. On the near wall, shovel back in the side, looking to battle for it here. Taken away there by Alvarez, rimmed around the board, stopped up by Paquette on the point. Moving in the corner there for number 98, he gets checked hard by Braden Husarenko. Taking the body on him. Hard check there at the blue line, just inside the line. And moved out by Advocate now down the ice. Chasing it down is Paquette. And around the boards for LaMarche. LaMarche finds the left wing side. And it's chipped out. Looking for a centering pass there was LaRue. LaRue follows it up and dumps it into the corner. That one covered up by the Advocate goaltender for a stoppage in play here. Nevio Rubo on the draw for the Warriors. And a false start here. We'll have another set of the face-off here. That one off the glass. Picked up in the corner. On the backhand, swept to the point. Shot by DiGirolamo all the way through. Let's stop the rebound chance. Covered and held. Off the draw, onto the point. DiGirolamo again fires a shot looking for a tip there. That went in the far corner, picked up on the wall. Skating in now is Charles LaRue behind the goal. Following it up with a body check on the near wall. DiGirolamo towards the goal. And that one covered. Chipped into the zone there by the Warriors. Off the boards, looking to clear here. Advocate Hockey as Kinnier looks to get a hold of it. Try to drop it there to Wiseman. Unable to make that play as it goes out to neutral ice. We got an inside blue line. Worked behind the goal here by Rubo. Holds on to it for the Warriors, moves it across to DiGirolamo, winds and shoots. Stick save goes wide. As it's picked up by AJ Mack, skating wide. He gets knocked down to the ice, and that's going to draw a penalty here. And it's a hooking call. It's going against the Warriors here, so they'll be shorthanded for the next minute 30. So setting up at the face-off dot in the offensive zone here are Advocate Hockey with a chance to tie the hockey game here in the first on the power play. Back in and off the boards, picked up there by Lirakos, cleared down the ice by the Warriors. Stopped over the goaltender. A nice saucer dish out to neutral ice, but it's picked off there by Lirakos once again. Turning with it is Stafilakis. Chips it ahead to Lirakos. Stafilakis left the puck behind. The Advocate turns it out the other way. Trying to set things up on the power play. Unable to get into the zone though. And it's moved ahead here by the Warriors as they sweep it into the zone again to kill some more time. 55 seconds remaining in the man advantage. Outlet pass. That went through. And that's going to be an offside here against Advocate Hockey. And some words of attrition here. Exchange between both teams after the whistle. And the officials looking to break things up here, as we'll have a neutral zone face-off here on the offside. Off the draw, picked up on by Latella, moves it across, off the boards and out. As chasing it down is Frankie Perez. Perez outlet pass. Hard check there. Picked up by Latella once again for the Warriors. The head of steam going down the left wing side, holds onto it. Dips his shoulder to avoid that hard collision as that's saucer pass picked up by Latella once again and trying to sweep it into the zone. Nice move on the backhand. Holds onto it. Swept it across the right side and taking a tumble there for a moment was Paquette. He got back to his feet and moved it ahead for number 96 who got it deep for the Warriors. Picked up here by Advocate now. Outlet pass picked off. That's going to be offside though. Have to tag up here. As it's dumped back in. Number 98 picks it up. There was a body check there on Lucciarello. Taking here, move wide. Another chance for the Warriors out behind the goal on that rebound in front on the wraparound. And taken on the backhand, shoveled into the Advocate bench for a stoppage in play. Face off in the offensive zone for the Warriors. And a player getting tossed from the draw here from the Advocate hockey team. Regardless, Warriors win the draw onto the point to Girolamo, fires, and that's a good save with the blocker by the Advocate goaltender. Check there, taken out. Advocate trying to sweep it across. We're back to even strength here, 5-on-5. As it's skate in by Vorobiev, working wide. Max Vorobiev holds on to it, passes in front of the net. Warriors looking to work it deep. Into the corner, backhanded free by Lucciarello onto the wall. Number 98 gets after for the Warriors, turning to avoid a hit from Lucciarello. Thomas LaRue trying to make a play onto the point, a shot from distance that goes wide. Looking for a tip there. And chopped at, kept alive by LaRue onto the near wall, trying to dump it past the defense in Lucciarello. Onto the point, moved across, shot there off a defensive stick and wide of the goal. Back to Girolamo, he can't hold the line as he turns with it. And slides it across the defense for another zone entry here for the Warriors. Shot there, sails over the blocker side. Trying to go bar down there, was a little too much under that shot. And it was about 6 inches over the net. That one stops up here. Cito follows through and slides a pass down low for Stafilakis. Out front for Rubo. Rubo a shot, that was blocked. Another shot there, a save made, rebound chance, they bang away. And it's finally covered and held by the Advocate goaltender for a whistle here. Minute 9 remaining in the first. Luca Brado on the draw here for the Warriors. Looks like the Advocate players getting tossed from the draw as Alvarez takes his place on the wing instead. Stafilakis looked to center it, stopped up there, dumped back in the zone. And they have to tag up here to the Warriors. Skating in with speed is Brado with a hard check in the corner. My goodness, he lowered the boom there. As that's picked up and moved out near side. Dumped back in. Stafilakis on it. Trying to work to the forehand. The Warriors starting to deliver the body here in the close of the first. Trying to wear down this Advocate team and get another goal on the board with the Advocates second guessing their passing options. Here's a shot by Stafilakis, gloved down and held. And as that physical play can start to force mistakes out of the opposition, as you feel you have no time and space to deliver the pass as well as you could when you got somebody bearing down on you for a body check. And forcing those turnovers can pay dividends for you. Moved around the boards here on the far corner. Onto the point. Shoveled out there by LaMarche. Near side corner with a body check. Shot there from a sharp angle. That's stopped. Behind the goal. Dropped off there for Sorgini. On the point from LaMarche. A shot. That one is in front. That's going to be stopped here. As the first period comes to an end. 1-0 for the Warriors after one. We'll be back shortly with the second period of play. Don't go anywhere, folks. And we're back for the second period of play here live on the Pierrefonds Sportsplex. 1-0 for the Warriors after one. See how Advocate respond here in the second. Advocate win the draw. Going to skate it in. Picked up by the Warriors. Pass ahead there. Up the right wing side. It's Larocos moving behind the goal. Shot there off the knob of the stick of the goaltender and into the corner. Picked up here by Paquette. Paquette runs around for Sorgini in front and a wrap around there, and that's stopped once again for another whistle. So another offensive zone draw here to start the second period for the Warriors. The 96 on the draw. On the right wing, stepping on, sliding it across the open side. Shot there. Whips past the glove hand side. Stopped up, moved down low. Vorobiev drops it off. Shot there from a sharp angle. Goes cleared away down the ice by Advocate. And that'll be an icing against them here. Charles LeBrew on the draw here. Kicks it ahead to Vorobiev on the draw. Shot in front, that one through the legs. And an easy stop made for the goaltender. And line changes for both these teams to start this draw. Staffelakis on the draw for the Warriors. One to the point. Gonna chip it in as Lavoie. Take it up here. Lavoie turns on the forehand, drops it off to the left-hand side. Dumped in the corner there. Lob shot. Oh, a hard collision with the goalpost there. And Staffelakis gets to his feet quickly there. As I turn the camera away in anticipation of a possible injury, but that's a tough collision there. It's to go in the goalpost with speed, so many bad things can happen. I've seen a lot of injuries in the NHL with that play. As if you get that goalpost in the wrong area, especially in the lower body, it's hard to recover from that. Lucky for Staffelakis, he got a thicker part of the frame on the goalpost there, so able to cushion the blow. As he goes after it on the near side, back in front of the net, and a collision with the goaltender there. Chaos here in the goal area for the Advocate hockey team. First a collision with the goalpost, a near miss of the goaltender, and then a collision there, but he seems to be okay. And another pass in front off a funny hop off the backboards. And it's taken on the near wall. Advocate hockey in quite a situation here. These bumps to the goaltender and funny bounces in front of the net. As I don't think it's intentional by the Warriors to create such odd opportunities. But they'll take them if they can put it in the back of the net. As that one dumped down the ice. It's going to be icing here, though, against the Warriors. So they're going to be unable to get a line change here. So an offensive zone face-off here for Advocate. Draw one there by Advocate. Here they come, Warriors down the ice. 2-on-1 the other way. Shot there off the blocker. Blazing speed there shown by Larakos as he forced the goaltender into the back of the net and tried to pick the corner. Pass across, open side, shot off the goal post. Looked to go far side. Now it's Larakos once again. 2 chances in a row in about 20 seconds. Another backhand shot, save made. As the Warriors starting to buzz in the offensive zone here. And some pleasantries being exchanged at the side of the net. As looks like there's going to be penalties called on the play here. And coincidental minors, it looks like. As a player from each side is going to go to the penalty box. And it's a roughing call on each side. 5-on-5 hockey. And once again, the Advocate player getting tossed from the draw. This time it's Braden Wiseman having to take the wing position instead. And it's moved out to Advocate looking for a breakaway pass. And unable to receive that with an advantage was Kinye about behind the goal. Holds onto it, turns on the back end. Stops up into the corner. Advocate now with some pressure. Looking around the boards is Lamarche off the far wall. Going to glove it down, and the official thought about calling down on the hand pass, but it's moved ahead now by the Warriors. Drop pass in front of the net, shot there. They score. Quick release there by Luca Brado. And it's 2-0 here for the Warriors. As the goaltender got a piece of it, but not enough, as that one finds the back of the net. So looking to put some distance between themselves and the Advocate hockey team here are the Warriors. As in these short games, as I've said before, it's so hard to get momentum back when it's working the other way. Harder to find a comeback in these games than in other games. A hard hit on Vorobiev there. That's dumped down the ice. As there's not as much time, as well as the psychological factor of the intermission between periods. You don't have that in this tournament to reset the mind. You have to try to do it on the fly, which is a lot more difficult, while still in the same environment in the rink, on the ice surface, on the bench that is. And there's more factors at play than you think, and that's moved out front again, and the shot sails over the goal and taken here by Advocate, moved out. Touch play ahead there for Kinye. Justin Kinye shot. That one stick aside. Hard hit in the corner. We're going to get some cycle play going, but it's taken away by the Warriors now. And in comes Vorobiev, one-on-one. Vorobiev trying to dance wide, holds on to it, pass in front of. Shot there is off the stick of the goaltender and taken up now by the Advocate. 2-on-3. Vorobiev on the back check, picks the pocket, and he skates up the ice now with the puck. Holds on to it, waits and shoots off the blocker and wide. To cut the shaft of the stick as well, as that one was labeled. Here comes Lavoie down, winds and shoots, and that one blocked aside as well. Advocate goaltender being tested here in the second once again, as the Warriors have to create more opportunities. Another shot there goes wide. Follow up, that one was blocked. Another pass in front, open side. Winding and shooting, they score again on a wicked slap shot by Kinsito. And it's a 3-0 lead here for the Warriors. Face off in neutral ice. At center ice, I should say. Perhaps the coffee hasn't hit the brain yet, folks, as that's a shot on goal wide of the net. A wraparound opportunity there, picked off by Advocate as they skate out on the left wing side up to neutral zone ice. Chipped into the zone by number 93, Brendan Rabe. As taken up by the Warriors now as they skate out with a 2-on-2. Moving wide, holding on to it there is Thomas Leroux. Trying to make a play. He's knocked off the puck momentarily and pinned on the wall. Looking to gain possession here, Advocate. Chipped up to the corner, a little miscommunication there as to capitalize on that was Ellenbogen. Swept in front of that shot, save made and covered. Close call there, almost went through the wickets. Face out of the offensive zone here for the Warriors. Moving across to Paquette. Paquette, a shot blocker aside. Moving into the corner. Taken off the wall here by Advocate. Moving into the zone, and that's going to be another offside here against the Warriors. Draw one there by Advocate off the far side wall near the benches. And down the ice comes Larakos down the wing. On left hand side, stops up. Looks to make a move out front, drops it off of the point to Paquette, a shot. That one just wide of the stick side. Taking it on the point, shoveled back in the corner. Battling in front of the net there is Latella. Pass in front, trying to get a stick on that was Larakos. Back in front it goes, and unable to capitalize was Latella in the corner. He got checked hard into the boards by Kinye. Another shot gloved down. Excuse me, that was Barnett with the hit, not Kinye. As we get set for another offensive zone face-off here for the Warriors. Off the draw, fired shot is over the goal. Picked up here and shoveled in by Leroux. Behind the goal for Vorobiev. Turning with it. Holds onto it, shoots, and that one over the goal again. As Leroux gains possession, slides into the corner. Taken here, moved in, back in, feet in front for Vorobiev. That one blocked off the glass and cleared into the defensive end here, and that's going to be an icing against Advocate. Face off in the defensive zone here for Advocate. And Warriors looking to just keep things in the offensive end. Keep their foot on the gas pedal here just over the halfway point of this hockey game. As that one unable to be kept alive as it goes back to neutral ice. Picked up by Charles Leroux, moves it across. Saucer pass out to Vorobiev. He left the puck behind. but he chopped at it on the last second there and got it ahead. Move back to Vorobiev. 2-on-1 the other way for the Warriors. Vorobiev skating in, moves wide, stops up, back in, feet up behind the goal. Back for Vorobiev. Vorobiev onto the point. Shot there from distance, glove down and held. As that was almost capitalized there. Looks like there was a stick thrown as well. Or broken, that is. Of course, once the stick breaks, you got to drop it right away. It'll be whistled down and called for playing with a broken stick. And it's an immediate loss of ability when you don't have the hockey stick, as the skates are great for skating, but not as well for playing the puck. Well, you can make some great plays, but some plays you can't complete for that kicking motion as it's taken on the wing by Gane. Tried to shovel it in front of the net. Stafilakis comes back and moves it across for Rubo. Rubo ahead. He has number 96 down the wing, dropping it off in front, looking for Lavoie, unable to complete the play, but he follows it up in the corner. Makes a couple nice moves. Rubo, pass in front of the net, shot there. Number 96 unable to complete that as it's chipped into the netting for another stoppage here. Number 96 on the draw here for the Warriors. Taken off the draw by Rubo. Up behind the goal. Looks like he faked a Michigan there for a moment. Or did my eyes mistake me as he gets a hold of that on the far side. Picked off there and skated out by Gane. Unable to capitalize on the breakaway opportunity, but he delivers a good hard hit on Cito. And it forces Cito to ice the puck here as we go all the way back down for icing against the Warriors. So Gane looking to get his team back into the hockey game with some physical plays. On the bench now for a change, however, is another line on the ice for the Advocate has got fresh legs for this offensive zone face-off. And of course, with the icing, the Warriors unable to make a change, but out they come here, 2-on-1 the other way. Moving wide, a shot off the goal post by Rubo. As that one fired down the ice by Lucarello. Skated down by Paquette, and that's going to be icing here against Advocate. As now the shoes on the other foot for this next draw. Constantine Larakos on the face-off dot. One there to the point, dropped off. LaRue into the corner. Dropped off there for Brotto. Brotto onto the point. Gets it back. Played there by Advocate trying to clear. Swept into the zone. Brotto. Pass in front off a skate. Picked up and moved back in by Paquette. Turning with it now. Nice move in front of the net. It's an opportunity here. Shot there. Goes against the grain and wide. There's a nice couple moves by Larakos once again in the offensive zone. Back into the corner by Brotto. Around the boards. Larakos with a hit there in the corner. Shot there from distance. That one sticked aside. Back in below the goal line. Chopped at there. Great pressure here by the Warriors in the second. Up below the goal line. Pass in front. Moved across. Slipping into a shot. That one sticked aside into the corner. LaRue on it. Drops it off in front. Relentless pressure here by the Warriors. We're behind the goal trying to pass and centering pass option, and that one stopped. Once again, a much needed line change here for the Advocate hockey team. They get fresh legs on the ice for this draw. Draw one by Advocate, trying to shovel it out of the zone here. Number 98 gets a hold of it, drags it and puts it in front of the net. As Latella unable to pull the trigger on that. Another shot from distance, pops up in front. Move back to the point. Another shot through a screen, and that one stopped and held. Draw one there by Advocate onto the right wing side. Chipped onto the point. Good battle for it there by Advocate. Out they come. If they want to start the climb, they're going to have to do it quickly here as nearing the third period of play, still down by 3. Moving into the zone, they're unable to get the shot away. There was Barnett. Follows it up in the corner. Touch play in front. They bang away. It's still loose in front. Picked off here by the Warriors. Outlet pass to neutral ice. Got to have more of that to the Advocate hockey group as it's off the boards and dumped back into the corner. 98 chasing it down here for the Warriors. Body checked there by Husarenko. Holding on right in front of the net, backhand shot, and they score on the rebound. And just like that, it's 4-0 here for the Warriors. As Latella capitalizes on that shot for the rebound. So 4-0 with 1:35 remaining in the second frame. Game starting to run away from the Advocate here. Like I said, so much less time in these hockey games to reset and try to come back. No reset for an intermission. You're still on the ice, still on the bench. And only 12 minutes of play in that third period. And if the Warriors get another one here before the third, it'll commence with run time to start the period. So that'll be more bad news for the Advocate hockey team as that's moved out, chipped ahead. So Advocate just looking to get to that third period without letting in another goal here. They give themselves at least a time advantage in that third period. We'll be able to have stoppages in the clock as that's moved across the open side. Backhand feed in front of the net, another opportunity. That one, big save there. And crowding the net are the Warriors. You need all the time you can get if you're the Advocate hockey team for that third period of play to try to come back. As the Warriors have dictated the pace for the bulk of this game. Kinye on the draw. One back to the point, moved across, one-time shot. They score again, and a wicked one-timer from Olivier Lavoie. And that's a sneaker past the 7-hole. Just above the pad and below the blocker. As it looked to have got a piece of the pad, but not enough. As that one finds pay dirt. And looking for more here as they skate off the zone. Laracos in the corner. Stopping it up. Taken out to neutralize. Dumped back in the zone there by the Warriors. There's 33 seconds left to go here in the period. The Warriors rimmed around. Touched up there by Kinye, unable to clear. And finally moved out to neutral ice. Nice move. Backhanded into the offensive zone. Picked up there by the Warriors defense and moved across. Outlet pass down. Picked up by the Advocate defense and fired back in the zone. Big collision there as Husarenko got the better of Paquette. 2 seconds and 1, and that'll do it here for the second period of play. 5-0 for the Warriors after 2. And so we'll commence with run time in the third when it starts. Stay tuned for the third period of play, coming at you live in just a few moments. We're back for the third period of play. 5-0 lead for the Warriors after 2. Off the draw, Warriors win the opening draw of the third as they did in the second. Outlet pass to Larakos, dropping it off. Shot there, patted aside. In the far corner, trying to clear here. Advocate Hockey. Onto the point, moved across. Ramirez. Shot pass in front was fired wide. Taken here and moved out of the zone. Good stick check there, kept alive into the corner, and a healthy hit there on Larakos as he went down on the play. Got back to his feet though as it's moving behind his own goal here by Lamarche. Pass in front and could be a breakaway here for Larakos. 2-on-1 anyway, moving across. Unable to get the shot away there, falling down the play in front. Backhand shot, they score for Larakos. And that makes it 6-0 here for the Warriors in the third. So 10:40 and counting remaining here in the third. 6-0 lead for the Warriors. Moved ahead, touch play for Sorgini. A shot swallowed up by the goaltender. Sorgini on the draw. One to the left side to LaRue. A shot there from distance. That one covered up as well. Botello to get a stick on it on the rebound. Worked in the corner, stopped up onto the point. Shot there looking for a tip that goes wide. A collision with the goaltender here as he's lost his blocker. And that's going to be called on the goaltender interference penalty here as Latella makes his way to the box. So a power play here for Advocate Hockey as we go down to the Warriors' end for this draw. Greg Alvarez on the draw for Advocate Hockey. Two number 87s coming together for that face-off. It's up here by the Warriors, skated out. Here come the Advocate, outlet pass. Kinye moving wide, trying a backhand shot that was blocked. And following it up there is Garcia. Touch pass out to LaRue. Thomas LaRue trying to dangle. And he's taken away from the stick check of Frankie Perez. And that's whistled down on the offside. 54 seconds remaining on the man advantage here for Advocate. Off the boards, moved back in the corner there by Cito. Picked up here by Advocate Hockey. Barnett turning. Excuse me, that's Mack. AJ Mack moves it across the wing to Kinye, dumping it in and delivering a reverse hit there as he got number 98 in the headlights. Down, and it goes all the way down here for the Warriors as they kill some time with the penalty. Just 22 seconds remaining on the advantage. Kinye with a nice move at center ice, but he left the puck behind. It's picked up by the Warriors. Skated wide and going to check. Picked up there by number 90, Husarenko, as he fires a shot there, and that one gloved down and covered. And a extracurriculars here behind the play as players get in the mix behind the net here. And some fights breaking out here on Saturday morning. We saw some fights last night on Friday. And almost breaking out here once again. Likely will be some penalties called here. Certainly roughing penalties. As things didn't get too out of hand, but tempers beginning to simmer here in the third. And some trash talk being delivered back and forth between the penalty boxes here. Face off in the offensive zone for Advocate Hockey. And Latella's back on the ice. Shot there from Stafilakis is stopped. So tempers start to flare, a score of 6-0 in the game. And for Advocate Hockey, you at least want to get one on the board just for pride's sake. And if that doesn't happen, sometimes you get so frustrated you just start to try to just cause some mayhem. As that's moved off across. Quick shot there. Deflected into the netting. And of course, Warriors seemed game for it after that skirmish behind the goal. As there seem to be two players in the wrestling match from each side. As that's moved out. Not out, excuse me. Vorobiev intercepts that, moves it towards the goal, and that goes wide. Stafilakis follows it up. Onto the point. Looking to hold the line there was Lamarche. Delayed offside here. They have to tag up. That's picked up now by Advocate, trying to tip it ahead. And 96 with a hard check on the far corner. Vorobiev looking to help him out. Stafilakis gets it to Vorobiev. Nice move in front. Vorobiev. Another play in front off the goal post. Stafilakis behind the goal, feeds it in front. How does that puck stay out of the net? There's a couple another close calls there for Advocate. Well, the game's not quite close at this stage. Just taken here and moved out by Lamarche. And back on the attack of the Warriors, dropping it off to Vorobiev. A shot, blockered aside into the corner. Back onto the point. Lamarche. Vorobiev. Down low for Stafilakis. Shot there from a sharp angle, looking for a 5-hole sneaker. Taking here again, Vorobiev. Sliding across the open side. Good active stick in an outlet pass here. Looking to make a play on it here is Carter Olds. Olds down the wing, and he can't make the play as he's handed on the defensive end of the puck. Taken out by number 96 for the Warriors. Drops it off. And Thomas LaRue looked to go skate to stick there. Follows it up, shot save, and that's covered for a whistle here. And both players that were in the fight earlier are back onto the benches. Braden Husarenko and Olivier Lavoie. As we set up for this offensive zone draw here for the Warriors. 5-on-5 hockey. The draw shovel towards the goal. It's picked up and around the boards by Frankie Perez. Looking to hold the line there was number 86, Charles LaRue. Picks it up. Skates into the zone here for the Warriors. LaRue on the wing. Moves wide. Passes in front. A quick shot over the goal by Larakos. On the near side wall, shoveled in by Larakos. The players colliding. Another shot glove down for the whistle. Off the draw, goes back for DiGirolamo. Moved across and chipped out into the stands. To the hallway area beside the Warriors bench. And one of the Warriors players with a good deed of the day retrieves the puck and gives it to the linesman. Greg Alvarez on the draw. Up against Gabriel Sorgini. Sorgini wins the draw into the corner. Swept off the boards there by Latella. Out to neutral ice. Shovel back off the boards, and that hit the bench of the Warriors, so another stoppage takes place here. Alvarez on the draw once again in neutral ice. Wins it back. Moving in the corner there for Frankie Perez. Holding on to it there is Sorgini. Moves it across for Cito, Ken Cito. Holds on, slides it to the linesman. The linesman hopping around to try to avoid that puck. As that'll wake him up on this Saturday morning, if anything. Looked like jump rope with skates on there for a second there. A little bit of plyometrics never hurt anyone as linesman getting his workout here this morning. And that'll wind things down here in the third. The Warriors, the dominant 6-0 victory here to open their Saturday morning. And they improved to a record of 2-1-0 here in the round robin to continue on this Saturday. That'll move them up a little bit in the rankings and try to make a good placing in the crossovers later on Championship Sunday. As teams line up at center ice to show their sportsmanship with the handshake line, we'll get you set for the next game coming at you live at 10:45 a.m. And that's in the draft division as the Renegades take on A1 Blue Twig. And I'll be on the mic for that one as well, so see you in that contest later on. Thank you for tuning into this one. It's Brendan Maloney from High Button Sports. I'll see you in the next one.